Take your Excel formulas from looking like this to this with the second best function in Excel, let. And yes, we will get into the first best later, but for now, let's focus on let. And there's two key things about let that make it a really great function. That allows you to assign variables to your functions, which makes your formulas a lot smaller and a lot better. And the second thing is it makes them a lot more efficient. So if you have tables with hundreds, well, I mean, really millions of rows, you're going to want that efficiency. You do not want it to lag. You don't want the buffer time to be as low as possible, so that you're really going to need let. So let's just start off with a small example first, and we're going to make this a really quick video for you guys. Is if I just type in equals let here, the main gist is name, name value, calculation, and so on. But then you could do name 2, name value 2, all the way to 10, 20, whatever. So let's just say my name is just A. I keep them as simple variables. However, if you have a lot and you actually want to name them, you can name it whatever is relevant to you. But for now, I'm just going to do A, and then my name value, I could just do something as simple as 10, and then I can do a calculation here, like 10 plus A, and then I'll get 20. But then I could do a second name, like B, and then I'll also do 30 here. But then eventually I'm going to decide to do my calculation. So then I'm just going to do A plus B here, and it's going to see my variables from inside my function, inside my let function. I press enter, and I'm going to get 40, which is what my A plus B gives me. Now on my first sheet here, this is a better example. Now whether this formula is redundant or not, you could say so, but that's not the point. The point is it's an example where I need this value a lot. So I have my XLOOKUP function 7 times. An XLOOKUP function is the number one function in Excel, by the way. Don't fight me on that down in the comments, but still. And what we can do is we can create this formula just to look like our second column here. So how do we do this? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and delete all that. So from this formula here, I'm just going to copy and paste it in here, and right inside of this, let's just work on it from here. So if I go to the top and I go let, and let's say A again, it's just simple for me to do A, B, C, blah, blah, blah. And then I take this entire XLOOKUP and I put it in here. And then for my second value, I go B. And then what else is redundant in here? My item total. I only need to look at that once. So I can put that in there as well. And now I'm going to change every single XLOOKUP in here to an A, and then every single item total in here to a B. And I'll fast forward through this part for you. Okay, now I took out all the XLOOKUPs and all the item totals. And the format I have it in right now is kind of how you do it in programming languages, or at least how I do it and everybody else does it. But in Excel, we don't really have something like that. So I'm just going to back it all up here. And as we can see, I need to add my comma here because this is my calculation part. So then if I just back all of this up, this is more so what a normal function would look like. I just had to fix that parentheses. I'll press enter, and we are good. So I've replaced all of my XLOOKUP cases with A, and then all of my item totals in here with B. And I'll hit this down, and then it happens for every single case that I have. And that is how you use the let function to its fullest ability in Excel. I hope this video was informative. Leave a like, subscribe, and comment anything you want to see in the future down below.